After 1 full year of rebounding, I can honestly say it beats every single fitness thing I've ever tried, which is so wild. And if you saw my 30-day or 3-month updates, you know I'm not exaggerating when I say this. So it's a year later and I'm still obsessed, and today I want to show you why, and also I'm going to be sharing some surprising things that kept me consistent for over a year, and also some unexpected long-term benefits that I've experienced. So if you've ever wondered whether rebounding is actually worth it, today's video is for you. Okay, let's start out by saying that rebounding has been so amazing for my digestion. Since I'm a teenager, I've experimented with all kinds of diets because I always thought it's the food that really helps us have good digestion. But once I started getting into rebounding, I realized how important movement actually is for the stimulation of our digestive organs, for the lymphatic system, for that blood flow inside the body. And rebounding specifically has been proven to be 3 times as efficient as running. And all this time I was doing these water fasts and these cleanses and all these different things until I finally realized and grasped through rebounding on such a deep level of how important it actually is to move. And rebounding makes it really easy because, first of all, it's such a simple way to move. You don't need any workout gear other than the rebounder. Of course, you don't need any clothes. You can just do it in your normal wear, and you don't need any shoes. You don't need to get out of the house. You can literally do it in your home. And also, it's just very time efficient because 10 minutes of rebounding, like I mentioned, is as efficient as 30 minutes of running. So you only need to rebound for 10 minutes to get all these amazing benefits. And not just the digestion has improved tremendously for me, but also generally I can just feel my body is more hydrated. Why is hydration important? Because dehydration is the cause of a lot of disease that people are experiencing. So when we're more hydrated, we experience a higher level of health. And the way that rebounding hydrates the body is because, again, it stimulates the lymphatic flow, it stimulates the blood flow, and that way the hydration to the cells is more optimal. Also, we're getting rid of water retention, that puffiness, that edema that we get when we consume things that aren't meant to be in our body, that are toxic for our body. Our body needs to isolate these toxins from our body by creating these water retentions. When we rebound, through our lymphatic system, we help flush all these toxins out. And because it is a little paradoxical, but because we now don't have that water retention anymore, the water can actually go and enter the cell. And that is amazing because when we're on a high cellular hydration level, then we are going to experience way higher energy levels, and we're also going to experience better mood, better sleep. We all know it. When we've had a really good night's sleep, a good rest, we wake up with a good mood. We wake up with a smile on our face. And even just rebounding in general, when I step on my rebounder, I can't help but smile. I can't help but be in a good mood. And studies have shown that our body language, the way that we are standing, our facial expression, our tone and our voice, all these things affect our mood. So when we're rebounding, we're in this body language, we're in this vibration of joy, of high vibe, of excitement. Because what do you do when you're excited? You're like, yay, you're kind of jumping. And that's the movement you're doing when you're on a rebounder. That's why rebounding is so great for mood. And I can definitely approve of that. Whenever I step under, I immediately have a good mood. It's so great also to deal with emotions, because another thing that's really important to know when it comes to mood and, generally our energy levels is that when we store emotions, feelings in our body, when we store tightness in our body, that requires a lot of energy from our system to keep those feelings suppressed. But what do? We go watch Netflix, we eat to numb those feelings, we distract ourselves with working a lot or, with not sitting with these feelings, not embodying these feelings. So that's why exercise in general is so amazing, but especially rebounding can really help bring those feelings and those emotions up, bring them back into motion and surrender to them, embody them, and let them go from there. I think it's so important, not just for our mental and emotional health, but also for our physical health, because when we're in a good mental state, then we naturally take better care of our body. We naturally eat healthy. We naturally want to move and exercise. And rebounding is a great entry point, a great doorway into that state, because we're putting ourselves into that high vibration. And then the last one that I also want to mention is generally detox. Like I've already mentioned, it increases the hydration level, but it also helps detoxify and eliminate things from our body by also improving the digestion and by having things move around in there way better and eliminate them way more efficiently. Things just don't accumulate, things just don't get stuck in our body. And that's why I personally think rebounding is amazing. And by the way, if you don't have a rebounder yet, make sure to stay till the end, where I'm going to share my 2 favorite models that I've picked out from the market of abundance. There are so many models out there right now. And I also want to share some consistency tips with you so that you can, if you want to get into rebounding, or if you already are into rebounding, stay more consistent, stay more motivated and excited about it. And the first tip I want to give is to have it set up at all times in your living area, where you naturally also hang out a lot. Maybe that's also the hub for you connecting with your family or your friends when they come over, or when you're living together with them. That's where you hang out together. Have it set up there, and then while you're talking with your family, while you're having these conversations, maybe even while you're planning the week, jump on that rebounder while you're talking with them. And that also brings me to consistency tip number 2, and that is to have a lot of smaller, more frequent intervals of rebounding versus saying, okay, now I'm going to rebound for 1 hour or half an hour. That's not really going to work. You're not going to feel like doing that. I mean, sure, if you're going to go out for a walk or you're going to go out for a run, you're outside, you're in nature, or if you're at the gym, it's a different thing. But with rebounding, I have found it to be way more effective to just have small, consistent intervals. And then consistency tip number 3, really integrate those into everyday life. So one, for example, like I mentioned, having that set up in your living area and doing it while you're talking with your family or your friends, but also maybe even sometimes while you're brushing your teeth, or while you're scrolling on your phone, or while you're doing a voicemail or replying to a note, or listening to a voice message. Jump on your rebounder while you do that, or jump on your rebounder while you're watching TV or your favorite show, and really find ways to integrate that into your everyday life. That is my biggest consistency tip. And also, while you're waiting for someone to get ready, if you have plans with someone in your family, or you want to go somewhere and they're still packing their stuff or getting ready or getting dressed, but you're already done, jump on your rebounder in those 5 minutes. It's a great opportunity. There are so many moments in our everyday life where we don't have anything to do, where we're kind of waiting, and those are great times to fill and put that rebounding time in there. Or while you're waiting for, the food on the stove to get ready, put on a nice song, incorporate music into it, make it fun, and really enjoy that experience of just not thinking about life for some time, not thinking about your tasks, but really entering that present moment, entering that moment of joy. There's no outcome, there's no result. You're just doing it because you love it. And rebounding is one of those things it's very hard not to love, because it's so much fun. And if you're hooked now about rebounding, I have tested the 2 most popular rebounder models on the market. The Bellicon rebounder, which is a very high price but very, very high quality rebounder, and the Becan rebounder, which is a cheaper, more affordable one. And I love both of them. I think both of them are great. Of course, the Bellicon is more expensive, it's more high quality, but for what you're paying, the Becan is amazing too. So whatever money you have available to spend right now, either of those is gonna make you really, really happy, I'm sure. And if you still want help with deciding which one to pick, definitely make sure to check out my video where I compare the Bellicon and the Becan.